right outside the India Lounge with the MD of Hitachi India, Mr. Bharat Kaushal. Thank you very much for talking to us. What's the mood like among India CEOs? Is there more optimism compared to your global counterparts?
Yes, I think the way the world's behaved, the tentativeness all across the world, India's position and also India's achievements have been quite formidable. It's just about presenting a new way of playing out the romance of Indian demography louder, because Society 5.0 has become more entitled, and that's the biggest attraction for more investments coming in Indian industry.
What are your own plans as far as this year is concerned in terms of investments, in terms of focus areas? Because Hitachi's operations cuts across energy, infrastructure, services. What's the focus going to be this time around? Because many companies have turned cautious, they've cut down spends.
Yes, I mean, traditionally we did business in India for India, but now India is increasingly emerging as a base to do business outside India. And especially in capital goods, where government has launched a lot of incentives for technology transfer and also funding it, allowing you to keep the IPR. These are very significant steps. So when you combine that with the volumes of India as they get entitled, and also the higher margins in overseas markets that a good company like Hitachi has access to, India certainly emerges as a much bigger destination for us and for other Japanese companies too.
So in terms of investments, have you earmarked, expansion plans for this year? Where will a bulk of it go? What kind of hiring plans do you have?
See, let me split it into two parts. The capital goods industry requires constant investment, and it's much huge on the balance sheet, especially rail business. And we are not just doing Indian Railways modernization or the metros or even the high-speed train. We are also trying to supply to North America and other places from India. So you have Japanese technology quoted in Indian rupees, making it more competitive. As one example. But from the hiring perspective, the biggest pressure is on the digital space. That's because changing nature of business from building access to deliveries and platforms. So you need more and more people. Everybody, including the competition, is in that same scramble.
Also have plans in the payment space?
Yes, we have a joint venture with State Bank of India. We have amongst the largest shares in ATMs and POS machines at the merchants, but the big space is digital. And while everyone boasts a lot about what we have done correctly so on the digital side, cash economy has also grown 35% since demonetization. So you're seeing both cash and digital exploding in India.
Right. Anything that keeps you awake from a macro point of view, a headwind, so to speak?
Well, the consistency or the stability, which in India just now is not in question, is perhaps the most significant factor in people looking at more medium and long-term strategies in India.
Right. And you believe there's been consistency?
Yes, I think there is a new definition of how consistency has evolved in India, and there is a lot of credit that one must give that it takes care of the Indian sensitivity of price, as well as makes it as competitive. We are not anymore talking of low cost in India. We are talking of competitive solutions. So once in the manufacturing side, component industries, whether it's automotive or elevators or anything, they get amortized with higher volumes. And when you look at India as a base from that perspective, you have a great story to tell.
Finally, any one big reform that you would like to see in India, your one big reform wish list? Budget is just 2 weeks away. What's your sense?
I think, in fairness, the government of India has been at it for 25 years. This time the push and ownership is much more, and that's what you see in the public investments that are going in infrastructure. At the state level, some of them have very smartly followed and towed the line. Still others sometimes may not be as fast as, and maybe that is the area that national projects and their implementation, which is a key phase of this government, should be more streamlined.
On that note, thank you very much for talking to us.
Thank you.